Good morning, students. We are moving on our next topic, that is gametogenesis. Gametogenesis means that there will be formation of special type of haploid cells, and these haploid cells will be known as gametes, and these haploid cells are basically formed in the primary sex organs, or we can say gonads. And main function of these haploid cells are they are going to take part in the process of fertilization. So the whole process in which these haploid cells are going to be formed in the gonads, that process is known as gametogenesis. And in humans we know that basically two gametes are going to be formed, sperms and ovum. So gametogenesis will be of two types. First will be the formation of sperms, and that will be known as spermatogenesis. So spermatogenesis is the process of formation of sperms from the germ cells, and second one will be the oogenesis, means formation of ovum. And in this video I am discussing in detail the process of spermatogenesis. So basically what happens in gametogenesis, in each spermatogenesis and oogenesis, there are basically three phases. First one is the multiplication phase. Multiplication phase simply means all the germ cells are going to multiply in number. That means they are undergoing mitotic division and they are continuously increasing their number. So multiplication phase is having increase in number of germ cells. The number of chromosomes here will be maintained because they are undergoing mitotic division. The second will be growth phase. The germ cells that have increased in their number, they are now going to grow, means they are now going to increase their size. So here increase in size takes place. And the third and important stage after multiplication stage is maturation stage. What happens in this maturation stage? The cells who have undergone increase in their size, those cells are now undergoing meiotic division, and this meiotic division has led to the formation of haploid cells. Means there are certain type of changes that are taking place in these cells, plus meiotic division in taking place, and finally upon maturation they are going to form gametes. So both spermatogenesis and oogenesis, they are showing these three phases. So let's see how these three phases are working in the process of spermatogenesis. So let's discuss about spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis is taking place in males, and because of the help of spermatogenesis, basically sperms are formed in the testis. When we discussed about the male reproductive system, we talked about seminiferous tubules. Seminiferous tubules are those structures in which spermatogenesis is taking place. If you all remember, I talked about that seminiferous tubule is made up of germinal cells. There are layer of cuboidal cells. So germinal cells are present, or germinal epithelium is present. This germinal epithelium is made up of two type of cells. The cuboidal shaped cells were spermatogonic cells, and the second type of cells that are present over here are pyramidal shaped cells that are known as Sertoli cells. All these things we have discussed in our earlier classes. So spemniferous tubule, that is made up of germinal epithelium, and this germinal epithelium is constituting of two type of cells. The cuboidal cells are spermatogonic cells, and the pyramidal large shaped cells are Sertoli cells. Out of these two type of cells, the spermatogonic cells are going to take part in spermatogenesis. So formation of sperms or spermatozoa is going to take place with the help of these spermatogonic cells. Now what is the function of Sertoli cells? Sertoli cells are basically supporting spermatogonic cells. They are providing nourishment to the developing spermatogoa, plus they are producing some hormones like ABP, androgen binding proteins, and these hormones are maintaining androgens, the level of androgens, testosterone in the seminiferous tubule, because the level of androgen is very important in the process of spermatogenesis. So they are assisting or they are helping the spermatogonic cells in the process of sperm formations. Now let's see how this process is taking place. Again, spermatogenesis has three phases. First will be the multiplication phase, means these spermatogonic cells are going to multiply in their number. Then comes the growth phase, in which they are going to increase in their size. And lastly come the maturation phase, how it is taking place. So let's start with the multiplication phase. Basically what happens in this multiplication phase, the various spermatogonic cells, because they are diploid cells, so they are containing 46 number of chromosomes, all the spermatogonic cells are going to undergo mitotic division. Again, after mitotic division, the number of chromosomes will be maintained. That means the cells will be diploid in nature. Again, these cells are again going mitotic division, and this is how, by the help of mitotic division, they are going to multiply. So in multiplication phase, there is continuous mitotic division, and because of this mitotic division, all the cells are of diploid nature, but their number is continuously increasing. So new spermatogonia are to be formed by the process of multiplication. This is how multiplication phase is going on. Now the second phase is growth phase. What is happening in this growth phase? Out of these new spermatogonia that are formed over here, some spermatogonia are going to involved in the process of growth phase. This is the first phase. Next comes the second phase. They are going to increase in their size, and they are increasing their size as much as double as compared to these spermatogonia cells. So these remaining cells will undergo the process of division. They will start continuously undergoing mitotic division, but some cells stop this mitotic division and they enlarge in size, means they will be involved in the process of growth, because division has not taken place, so the number of chromosomes will be maintained over here. During this growth phase, they are leading to the formation of primary spermatocytes. Now comes the third and most important phase, that is known as maturation phase. Now what is important about maturation phase? In this maturation phase, meiosis will take place. The cell that has grown itself, that is going to undergo meiotic division, and here number of chromosomes is going to be reduced. So now see what happens. This is the cell head that has undergone growth. It has increased in its size. Now this cell is going to form, this is a primary spermatocyte. And this primary spermatocyte is going to undergo meiotic division. First meiosis, and it leads to the formation of two cells which are haploid in nature, because it is a reductional division. Reductional division means the number of chromosomes have reduced. So from 2n, the cells, new cells formed are basically n in number, and it is known as secondary spermatocyte. So this secondary spermatocyte is basically haploid. Now these secondary spermatocytes are going to undergo second meiotic division, and this second meiotic division is again producing haploid cells. Why haploid cells will be produced? Because this secondary division will be equational division. So number of chromosomes will be maintained. So from one spermatogonia, basically 4 spermatocytes or spermatids are formed. This is how spermatids are formed. Now these spermatids are not going to undergo any type of division, but they are going to metamorphose, means some type of changes are going to occur in these spermatids, and these spermatids, after acquiring changes, they will be converted into a fully functional spermatozoa, and this fully functional spermatozoa will behave as a male gamete, and it will take part in the process of fertilization. Now, what type of changes are going to take place in spermatozoa? Basically, the cell organelles, they are going to change. Some of the cell organelles undergo modification. There will be difference in the level of cytoplasm. There will be difference in the level of water, and this way a spermatid is going to convert it to spermatozoa. Now, how after metamorphosis, after the formation of spermatozoa, how a single sperm or spermatozoon looks like? Basically, the sperm that is formed, the spermatozoon, I am talking about a single fully functional sperm, that is basically composed of 4 parts: head region, neck region, middle piece, and fourth one is tail region. So, the fully formed spermatozoa, that will be haploid in nature, it will be motile, freely movable, and it is also having a tail for its movement. Now, how the structure looks like? Basically, head region is composed of 2 parts. It is having a very large nucleus, and nucleus is basically containing the genetic material. So, here DNA will be protein, and as we know, DNA is not protein alone in the nucleus. It is having some basic proteins also. So, DNA and some of the basic proteins are present in nucleus. Basic proteins like histones are there, which are helpful in the packaging of DNA. Other than nucleus, the anterior portion of the head is containing a structure that is known as acrosome. So, in head region, 2 structures are there: acrosome and nucleus. Later we will see all these structures in a diagram. Let's talk about the function. Basically, acrosome is having hydrolytic enzymes. What is the function of these hydrolytic enzymes in acrosome? Basically, because this acrosome is present at the tip portion, so it is helping. Suppose it is a sperm that is moving. So, this portion, this acrosome portion is using these hydrolytic enzymes, and this is a ovum. It is helping in the penetration of the sperm inside this ovum. So, this is the function of acrosome that is present to the anterior most region of male reproductive system. So, like this is the nucleus region. A large nucleus is present, and over its tip the acrosome region is present. This is the head region, and this portion will be covered by the plasma membrane. So, this is the plasma membrane, acrosome is there, nucleus is there that is containing DNA and basic proteins, and this whole portion is the head region of a matured sperm. The region that is coming next to this head region is the neck region. That is very short region. A small constriction is present over here, and this neck region is containing 2 centrioles. How these centrioles are present? Basically, 2 centrioles are present in this position. They are present right angle to each other, and this centriole just present below the nucleus, and this is known as proximal centriole. The second centriole that is present below it is known as distal centriole. What are their functions? This proximal centriole is going to form spindles when zygote is going to undergo its first cleavage. When first division in zygote takes place, spindle formation will be done by this proximal centriole. The second distal centriole is forming axial filaments. It is forming various filaments that are moving in the downward structures. Downward structures are middle piece and tail. So the middle piece region and the tail region are containing axial filaments that are arising from this distal centriole. So this is the neck region, and below the neck region, the portion that is coming is known as middle portion or middle piece. This is neck region, and this whole piece is the region is the middle piece. This is a flat shaft like structure. In between it is containing axial filaments. Axial filaments are there. Plus, other than axial filaments, it is containing mitochondria. Mitochondria we know is the powerhouse. That why energy, or you can say mitochondria, is required here, simply because spermatozoa are motile in nature. They are going to move in the female reproductive tract. So these mitochondria will provide energy for the movement of sperms. Now how these mitochondria are present? These mitochondria are present in spiral nature. In this middle piece they are arranged spirally. So simply mitochondria are arranged spirally in the middle piece of the spermatozoon, and the function will be it is going to liberate energy, and that will be required for the movement of sperms. Rest of the portion is basically the tail region that is having the axial filaments, and this tail region is helping the spermatozoon for its movement, means it is helping in the swimming of the sperms, and now with the help of swimming it will reach into the female reproductive tract. It will move inside the fallopian tube and fertilization will take place. So this is how a spermatozoon is looking like and how it is functioning. Now these spermatozoons are containing the genetic material and the 6 chromosomes. The allosomes are basically of two types, X, Y. So half of the sperms will be containing X chromosome and half of the sperms will be containing Y chromosome. Means two type of sperms will be there, X containing chromosomes and Y containing chromosomes sperms will be there. So that's all for today.